Hello my friends, welcome back to another flow. This class is going to be slightly different from other classes that we've done in terms of we're going to be practicing lots of long holds where we're going to tap into strength in particular in the lower body. And I think the yoga practice is beautiful in teaching us that sitting in discomfort is normal and in fact should be practiced. Because the more that we can practice it on the mat, the better we will be at moving through discomfort when we are off our mat. And because we will be going a little bit slower, it's a bit more accessible to those who may be newer to the asana practice of yoga, which is the movement practice. So I welcome you here if this may be you. Okay, let's head onto our backs and we will begin our practice. So roll yourself down the spine and we'll bring the feet close towards the hips. You might let your knees knock in for a little bit. Closing down the eyes for a moment. Connecting to the breath. And as we move through positions that may cause challenge and discomfort, it's really important that we continue to breathe. In particular, breathing deep into the diaphragm and kind of the ribs area, as well as that chest. The breath is a really clear linkage between our body and our mind. And so the more full, the more calm we can keep our breath, more controlled, the more stable and controlled the mind will be as well. Let's take about 3 more breaths here before we begin to move. Bring the hands down by your sides. Walk the feet back underneath your hips if you moved them away. Let the knees kind of point in the direction of your toes. And then start to press the foot down into the ground as you lift your hips up high for Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. You might stay here or you might walk your shoulders underneath your body, either kind of tickling the back of your Achilles, or you might even clasp your hands together, kind of pressing the pinky fingers down towards the ground, squeezing the glutes to kind of lift the hips up a little bit more. Take 2 more breaths here. You might stay with your hands underneath your body or you can release them down by your sides. Feel free to stay here or you might start to pick up the left leg. Left knee might stay bent or you might point the left toes towards the sky or kind of somewhere in between. If you felt like a more challenging variation of your single leg bridge, bring your legs down, step your right foot out quite a bit more and then lift the leg again. Okay, so you're going to feel that a little bit more through the hamstrings as well as the glutes. The load of the leg just changes this movement a little bit more to make it a bit more challenging. Take 3 more breaths in this position. Keep pushing the foot down into the ground. Squeeze the glutes, lift the hips. And it's totally normal for you to feel a little bit of a cramp here. Bring the left foot down, either underneath the knee or a little bit further away, and then start to reach your right toes up again. Continue that long breath in and out through the nose. Make sure the spine isn't arching too much. You want to think about drawing the ribs towards the hips. Two more breaths. And then slowly roll yourself down. Draw the knees up towards the chest, and then maybe you take some semicircles with the knee, maybe in opposite directions, maybe in the same direction. Sometimes I just like to have my knees out wide and kind of bounce them up and down a little bit, or just lightly press the hands down to open through the inner leg. When you're ready, grab the backs of the legs, roll yourself up. A couple of different options where we go next. You can keep the feet down on the ground. You might know where we're going. You might extend the legs out a little bit longer, keeping the knee bent, or you might extend the toes out, legs long. Feel free to keep the hands around the legs or reach them towards your ankles. Open the chest, draw the shoulders down the spine. Bringing your drishti, your eye focal point, towards your toenails. This is Navasana, by the way, boat pose. 3 more breaths here. Bring your feet down, hands by your sides. You might stay here or try push the hips off the ground. Even if it's just a centimeter, take another deep breath in. Exhale, lower the hips back out, down. Navasana, one more time. Lift the feet. And as you find these moments of stillness, can you notice what goes on in your mind? Maybe it's thoughts of wanting to escape the experience. And as much as you can, if those thoughts do come up, just let them kind of float away, not getting too attached to them. One more breath. Oh, I'm shaking. Okay, feet down, hands by your sides. Push the hips up, lengthen the arms, take another deep breath in. Exhale, lower down. Keep the right foot out in front, tuck the left foot in. Right hand by the right foot. Take your left knee behind you a little bit more and then twist the foot towards the side. Right hand can stay on the ground, or you can always bring it to the elbow. Breathe in as you lift the left hand high and then towards the front of the mat. Exhale to hold. Trying to spin that left hip back, left shoulder back. Now you might stay here or extend your left leg out long, tuck onto the toes and plant the heel down for our extended side angle. Uttita Pajvakonasana. Try not to dump into the hips too much, push away with the right foot. One more breath. Left hand towards the front of the mat. Breathe in here. Exhale, step forward, Uttanasana. Hands to shins, breathe in, lift halfway. Shoulders in line with hips, exhale, fold forward. Breathe in as you sweep the arms up towards the sky, squeeze the glutes. Exhale, send it straight back down, Uttanasana. Hands to the shins, breathe in, lift halfway. This time as you exhale, hands down, step your right foot back. Lower the right knee down towards the ground and then pivot the right toes towards the left side. Left hand either to the ground or elbow towards thigh. Breathe in as you sweep your right hand high and then towards the front of the mat. Exhale to hold. You might stay here or tuck onto the right toes. Lift the right knee off for your Utthita Pajvakonasana. Try and make your left hand really light wherever it is. Two more slow breaths. Look down towards the ground, frame out your front foot. Breathe in here. As you exhale, step your right foot forward. Either hands to the shins for halfway lift, or extend your hands out in front. We're gonna hold here for a few more breaths. Draw the shoulders down the spine. Engage the core, knit the rib cage in towards the hips. Bend the knees a little bit. Two more breaths. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Rise on your breath in. Ripple up through the spine, press the palms together. Exhale, send it straight back down. Hands to the shins again, just breathe in once this time, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the ground, step back to plank. Hold for a breath in. Exhale, chaturanga, elbows coming close, come down onto your belly. Untuck your toes. Breathe in, baby cobra, draw the shoulders back and down. Exhale, press up onto your knees. Tuck onto your toes. Lift your hips up and back, Ardha Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. You could pedal out your feet here. Dropping one heel down and then the other. And then find a moment of stillness. Breathe in, sweep the right toes high, three-legged dog. Make that right leg as long as you can. Imagine someone was pulling your foot away from you, and you might stay here or come up onto left fingertips. Stay here, or maybe the left hand hovers. And then maybe the left hand reaches up towards the left hip. Keep pushing through the right hand. One more breath. Replace the left hand. Breathe in, roll forward, right knee to nose. Exhale, step the foot in between the hand. Left knee comes down. Untuck the left toes and then bring the hands towards the front thigh. Push your hips towards the front heel. Maybe take a little twist from side to side if that feels good. And we want to make this quite active, so we're not just passively hanging out down in our flexibility. You want to push out of the front heel, engage the glutes. And maybe you stay here, or if you felt like a little bit more of a challenge, press through the tops of your foot, your back foot, to lift the left knee up. So you're coming into a high lunge variation. And if this is quite a lot for the back foot, then you can always tuck onto the back toes as well. We want the hips to be kind of in line with the knee, or maybe even a little bit higher. Connect with the breath. One more breath. Ooh, I'm shaking. Lower the left knee towards the ground. Hands frame out the front foot and then push your hips back, lift up your right toes. Ardha Hanumanasana. Okay, you can stay down on the ground or walk onto your fingertips. Flex the right foot. Make sure you're not locking out the right knee. And then try lift the right heel off the ground. Round through the upper back. Again, it's very normal for you to get a cramp here, so if that's your experience, that is very normal. One more breath. Land to the right heel, shift your weight forward, tuck onto the toes a little bit, and then slide the left knee towards the right calf. The lower you go, the more challenging this gets. Try hug the left foot towards the glute. If you need to come up a little bit higher, let's stay here for two more breaths. And then stand up. Land the left foot down. Nice job. Shift the weight into the left foot. Right knee pulls up towards the chest. And you might stay here, or right peace fingers come around the big toe. Left hand to left hip. You might stay here, or you could extend the right heel out long. Hands could always be behind the right thigh at this point as well. Focus your dristi on something in front of you that isn't moving. Draw the right shoulder back. One more breath here. Start to shift the eye gaze towards the left. Right heel is going to turn out towards the side. Right knee might be still bent, or it might be a little bit longer. Lift as tall as you can through your spine. One more breath. Coming back through center. Keep the right leg extended, but maybe you let go of the right hand, bringing it towards the hips. Hold here for 3 more breaths. And then land the right foot down. Nice job. Breathe in, lift the arms, Urdhva Hastasana, upward hands pose. Exhale, bend the knees, fold forward. Hands to shins, breathe in, lift halfway. As you exhale, hands to the ground, step back into plank. Hold here for your breath in as you shift your weight forward. As you exhale, Chaturanga may be coming halfway. Breathe in, baby cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, Ardha Mukha Svanasana. Breathe in, sweep the left toes high, 3-legged dog. Maybe you stay here, or maybe come to right fingertips. The right hand might hover off the ground. And then maybe it transitions towards the right hip. And it's okay to fall over here as well. It's a lot easier if you can get the right foot flat, but try not to compromise the length in the spine for this. Land the right hand back down if it was lifted. Breathe in, roll forward, left knee to nose. Exhale, step it forward, lower the right knee down. Untuck the right toes and then lift the hands towards the thigh. So use your breath in to kind of lift up as much as you can. And then as you exhale, dropping the hips down and forward towards the front heel, keeping a bit of activeness through the left leg. You might stay here or press up onto the back foot, the toes tucked, lifting the hips up. Notice the quality of your breathing here. Three more breaths. Lower the right knee down towards the ground. Shift the hips back. Lift up your left toes. Come to fingertips. And maybe you stay in this more kind of stretchy fold, or if you wanted more activation, press through the fingertips, draw the left toes back, and then lift the heel. So we're working on hip flexor strength here, a little bit of core and upper body to support the leg. One more breath. And then start to shift your weight forward. Tuck onto the right toes to slide the right knee towards the back of the left calf. Bend your left knee, hips pushing back, but keep the chest lifted. And if you can, bring that right foot a little bit closer towards the glute. Whew. One more breath. And then stand up. Nice job, wiggle out the legs. Transition the weight into the right leg. Maybe you hug the hands around the front of the shin or the back of the thigh, or peace fingers come around the left big toe. Right hand to hip. Start to extend the left leg away, drawing the left hip back. One more breath. Shift the eye gaze over to the right. Travel that left foot around. You want to kick your left heel and your left toe into your hand, drawing the shoulders back and down. One more breath. Bring the leg back through center. Release the left hand around the left hip. Make your left leg as long as possible. Two more breaths. Ooh. And then lower the left foot down. Nice. Breathe in, lift the arms. Exhale, fold forward. Hands to shins, lift halfway. This time as you exhale, hands to the ground, step back onto your shins, sweep the legs around to the side, and then bring the soles of your feet together to touch. Knees come out wide. Hands around the ankles, breathe in as you lift yourself tall. And then as you exhale, lean yourself forward, almost like your heart is pulling towards your toes. Elbows pressing out on the side of the legs. And you could stay here and again, a little bit more of a stretch, or you can try reach your hands forward and use your glutes as a way to keep drawing the knees down towards the ground. And some of the best ways to work on flexibility is to work on that activeness of the muscle rather than just sinking into passivity. One more breath. Can you reach a little bit further? Breathe in as you come back through center. Keep the legs where they are, and then as you exhale, tuck the chin in, roll yourself down the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. And then lie down onto your back. Draw the right knee into the chest, left leg extends out long. Breathe in. Exhale, twist the right knee towards the left, right hand extends out to the side. Come back through center, left knee pulls towards the chest. Breathe in. As you exhale, travel that left knee towards the right. Extend the left hand out, left shoulder down. Come back through center and we'll find Shavasana for a couple of minutes. So you might have your legs extended or your knees bent. Take a couple of breaths to get settled, inviting the eyes to close down. Letting thoughts come and go as they are. Start to take some deeper breaths. And then when you're ready, we'll eventually make our way up into a seat. Maybe keeping the hands in the lap or bringing hands to heart center. I thank you so much for practicing with me today. It was a pleasure to be here with you. I got a little bit sweaty, I don't know about you, but that was challenging. So I hope that you enjoyed it as well. I'd love to hear from you down in the comments below. And yeah, I'll see you around. I'll see you in the next class, either here on YouTube or on Patreon, which I'll leave a link down in the description for. This is where we post longer classes with more philosophy and pranayama, which is breath work, and meditation as well. So I look forward to seeing you soon.